Okay, so I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to crochet a pumpkin. Now I've already got the parts done. It's very simple single crochet, so this is really for people that already know how to do the stitches. I got the inspiration from Nastasia channel, and she has great tutorials. Mine is slightly modified from hers. She has a slightly bigger pumpkin and mine is a little bit smaller. I'm also going to stuff the stem and make the stem a little bit wider. But for the remainder of that, it's pretty much following her tutorial. I don't know the owner of the pattern who created the pattern. It's probably been around forever. Unless somebody says that they designed the pattern, I just say it's from a tutorial that I watched. So to start, I have orange red heart acrylic yarn. Then I have the Super Saver brown red heart acrylic yarn for the stem. I am going to be putting leaves and the little spiral thing on it as well. And if you're wanting to sell it, my personal, from what I have seen, like on Etsy, the more decor you put on the pumpkin, the better it sells. So I'm personally doing this for somebody as a gift. So I'm also not going to be using polyfill. I'm just going to use, like, I just take a few squares of soft tissue and scrunch it together. I also will be adding some gold letters for initials for a business. And so I have a yarn needle because you will be doing some stitching. And so if you don't know how to do that, you'll probably want to watch a tutorial. You'll need to know how to chain, slip stitch, single crochet, and how to basically stitch panels or pieces together. But this is just a single crochet. So to start, I did 52 rows. I chained 26, I believe 26, and then I went back into 25 single crochet, and then I did 52 rows. Nastasia, she did 72, so mine's going to be slightly smaller. 52 rows. And then on the stem, I chained 9, not 12, 9. And then I went back through and single crocheted through 8. That's how I got this. And then I'm going to stitch these together. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of stuffing in it. Okay, so to start, I'm going to take the camera and put it down on my lap so that you can have better lighting to see what I'm doing, hopefully. Okay. There we go. Okay, a little crochet pillow here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Now, she said you want to keep a really long tail going. Just a second. Something going on with my phone. So I'm going to stitch these together. So you just simply, now you can crochet it together actually, or you can stitch it together, whichever is your preference. I personally, when I'm bringing two sides together, I rather crochet it together, but that's completely up to you. There's varying ways to make this. So looks like it's all matching up. And you can just slip stitch instead of crocheting. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slip stitch this. all the way across into each chain. Come a little bit closer. Just slip stitching across, which is take needle under this chain, under this chain, wrap around, and go through all the way down. And now I do like to take the yarn around the pumpkin when you're binding it together. Some people just make them round, just have a round pumpkin, but I do like the sectioned look on the crochet pumpkins, which we'll get into here later. I think the acrylic yarn, I know a lot of people like to use different types of yarn. I'm using, by the way, a number 5.5 crochet hook. I think the acrylic is good for this. It's a little bit of a stiffer yarn, especially when you single crochet. But I've seen some really adorable chunky yarn and chenille yarn pumpkins. And I'm also going to be doing some pink pumpkins for the women's VA display. So this is my modified version of the pattern. But again, you do not have to slip stitch it. If you just want to use your yarn needle and bring it together that way, it's completely up to you. Because this will leave just a little bit of a indentation there, just a little bit. And some people may not like that. So again, it's your preference. And last stitch. Make yourself a big old loop there. Now I'm going to turn it inside out, which is a little bit tricky, but not a big deal. Because when you turn it inside out and you still have the yarn connected, you're going to have to take the yarn. Whoops, now I've got it tangled with my brown. Not good. Okay, I'll get my little stem here out of the way. Okay, so you're going to take this through here because I want my yarn on the outside. Oops, I don't mean to do that. Okay, there we go. All right. So as you see, there is just that little bit of a hem, and some people may not like that and prefer to darn it, but anyways, this is what it looks like. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this together. And I'm going to do the same way with the stem. So again, on the stem, I crocheted 9, single crocheted 8, and I did 10 rows instead of 8 rows, just for a little bit thicker of a stem. Now I'm going to slip stitch this Now this might be a little bit trickier to slip stitch because it's going to be a little smaller of a space, you know, to turn inside out, but it can be done. So I am going to slip stitch also the stem, or attempt my best to do so. Get over there. All right. I'm going through the second chain, and then the third chain, and then the fourth chain, and then the fifth chain, and the sixth chain. And then the seventh, and last but not least, the eighth. Ta-da! Okay, pull that long loop there, and I'm going to turn it inside out, and then I'm going to cut it. Trim that. Now you have your stem, which you'll just basically darn that together, and I'm going to stuff it just a little bit. I need to turn my air conditioner on, is what I need to do. And I'm going to leave a long tail just because. Okay, and just a little bit of stuffing is all you need, just to give it a little bit of a firmness. And that's just some good old toilet paper. See? Now, okay, so I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm going to get back to this. And now comes the needle. So you want to leave a string a good 25 inches because you're going to be doing a bunch of wrapping around your pumpkin. So I'm going to give plenty of space with that. And then you're going to basically darn the needle. Put this over here so don't get that mixed up. Okay, now you don't, I'm going to go on the end where I don't have a bunch of yarn there. I'm going to start at the back where this is, and you don't really want to do it too close together. So you want to be a good 6 rows apart. So how you count the rows, you see this, I don't know if you can see that or not. There's like a line, like a dash. Okay, so this and this together is 2 rows. So I would go 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash. Okay, that's just how I count. So 1 dash, 2 dash, and then 3 dash. Fly, don't bother me, because otherwise it won't scrunch right. Okay. Okay. So 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash. That's 6 rows. 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash. I go right past the dash. Just trying to keep some consistency. Okay, 1 dash, 2 dash, right past the third dash. Oh, I don't like the way that placed. I want it to place consistently, and that went down a stitch, so I'm going to redo that. Hopefully, I'll have to rethread it, and that's okay. Oh. And you don't even have to use a yarn needle for it, really. You can just use a crochet hook, you know, but I am going to use the needle just because I'm trying to be specific on where I'm placing it. Say go right up in here, 1 dash, 2 dash, right up in here. There, that's better. Definitely better. Pull that little extra through. Okay. 1 dash, 2 dash, right past the third dash. One dash, 2 dash, right past the third dash. Pull that string through. 1 dash, 2 dash, right past the third dash. Smooth it out here. 1 dash, 2 dash, right past the third dash. One dash, 2 dash, right past the third dash. Getting shorter on my string here. And that's okay because we are meeting the end there. 1 dash, 2 dash, right into the third dash. All right. Okay. There's that. Hang on. I'll be right back. Okay. Alrighty then. So then I'm just going to dun 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 dun. Look at that bottom of the pumpkin. Ain't it pretty? Now you can do this top part and then add some, or you can add your stuffing and then darn it. It's up to you. I'm just trying to get a feel for how this feel that I have is going to work because I don't have any polyfill. Remember, this is a medium-sized pumpkin, so it's not going to... And then I'll add some more once I get it together. So we're looking at... We probably need some more. You kind of fill it all in there. Make sure that bottom is filled in. And of course, toilet paper, you can shape it. All right, so it's almost filled, but we got a ways to go. That's about right. It's a medium-sized pumpkin. I'm calling it a medium just because I think from what I've seen on Etsy, the large pumpkins are probably about 9 to 10 inches. And this one's probably, if I was to measure it, probably about 6 inches. So I'll call this a medium. And I, again, crocheted 52 rows instead of 72 rows. A little bit more. And you can make your toilet paper bunches 2 squares, 3 squares, 3 squares, 4 squares, whatever. Just kind of fill it all in, and then just kind of tuck in any little empty pockets in there to make sure it's all evenly distributed. That's cute. Hello, who's here? Oh, hi, Queen. I have not seen you in some time. I'm doing a tutorial on how to make a pumpkin. Yeah, I had to reschedule the giveaway till Wednesday at 5. I gotta go hunt down some milkweed tomorrow. Oh, I gotta go pluck it up. Okay, so this is just some fairly small roll of toilet paper. Okay, so that should be good enough. Now I can bring it together. Okay, all right, so now bringing the top together. And I will be doing the leaves for these, and I do have some leaves together, but they're not the right type. So now this little thing here, I'm going to close the top of it. The stem needs to be closed at the top, and then I'm going to join it together, and then I'm going to put it on the top here. So I'm going to hook up my brown yarn to my crafter's needle, my yarn needle. Hopefully I will get it in there. Okay, now I'm going to I would recommend closing it before you turn the stem inside out, but it's only going to need like 3 stitches. This is just 3 stitches. Okay, and then here's my scissors. Going to cut that off there. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my needle, and I'm going to pull that little loop through there. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go in after that, and you can take the stuffing out, but I've just put some toilet paper in there. I like to stuff the stem as well. It's my preference. I'm going to pull that inside, or attempt to. Yes, I will. Watch me now. Okay, coming up through. There we go. I'm just going to bring it inside. Okay. Then I'm going to turn this back inside out. No biggie. pull that through and then tie it off because I want any lanyards, if you will, on the inside instead of on the outside. And then cut that off. All right. Then I'm going to turn it back right side out, put the stuffing back in there. Then I'm going to close the bottom of the stem after I stuff it. And you don't have to use a whole lot. It's up to you. Wait a minute. What? I don't know how that happened. That's okay. I thought I cut that off, but apparently I cut the wrong one. It happens, right? And another thing you can do, if you ever get a situation where you've got something sticking out, you can always do like they do with macrame. Cinch it, press it, glue it, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to take that back inside out to make sure I don't have any little strings hanging on the outside. That is not what I want. No strings allowed. All that's got to be on the inside. Okay, now cut that off. And once again, turn it inside out. Okay, that's better. Now, let my little stuffing go. Bring the strings at the bottom all the way back out. Put the stuffing in. Okay, and now I'm going to darn this together. You can even slip stitch it if you prefer. However, I'm going to tie these together at the bottom. And then I'm going to darn this together. And one thing about the stem, just so you know ahead of time what I'm going to be doing with the stem, we're going to put it in the middle, and then you're going to go through with the needle through it to attach it, and then you're going to wrap the string around and however many sections that you want. I'm just tying it off. All right. Because I'm going to be taking this and slip stitching this. Notice I don't have a loop on my hook. I'm just taking this and basically using the hook as a needle. There we go. Then one more stitch. Now remember, this is going to be the bottom of the stem, okay, that's going to be tucked into the pumpkin. Now I'm going to tie it off. Yeah, Regan. I think I'm going to have to let my dog out. Okay, so I'm going to have to let him out. He has one volume of a bark, and that's it. Okay, so then I'm going to stitch this together at the top. I'm probably going to need to, all right, so I've got that down there, this up here,
I'm going to add just a little bit more stuffing. And I know I'm going to get up and I'm going to let my dog out before he tells me off some more. So I apologize. Got to take a break, and I will be right back. There's the stem, the needle, and the hook. And, all right, Regan. Let me let my dog out. Oh, and take a break. My foot's going on. Goodness. Ow, ow, ow. I'm getting there. Oh, my foot. Wake up, foot. All right. You go outside, honey? I said you gotta go. Come on. Regan, no, you said you gotta go. Don't make me get up and not go. Okay. All right. So I'll have to get back up again. All right. Okay. Now. Okay. So I'm going to take my scissors that are here somewhere. I'm going to fasten off this pumpkin here. Stick that in there. Then I'm going to take my crafter needle and I'm going to darn this and do it like I did the bottom. All right. And remember, you're going to be putting the stem in the middle. So I'm just going to go around the edges just like I did before. I'm going to start at the back at the edge there, and I'm going to go just like I did before. 1, 2, just past the 3. Pull it quite a bit. So I have plenty to go around. 1, 2. See, this stitch here, this little dash counts as, this is 2 rows. So you want to go 3 rows. I mean 6. 1, 2, just past the dash. And go under. In there. Pull it snug. Okay. 1, 2, just past the dash. So that's how you count rows. Single crochet rows is the dash, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So every 6th row. But I count the dashes. 1, 2, 3, and then I know I've gone 6 rows. And place it evenly, consistently. 1, 2, 3. I just personally think it gives it, a better close when it's consistently where it's placed. 1, 2, 3, go under. 1, 2, 3, go under. Okay. And 1, 2, just go past the 3rd one. 1, 2, just go past the 3rd one. And 1, 2, and then you're going to end up in the same hole with this one. Okay. All right. Now we're going to keep, well, all right. So now this is where I'm going to be adding the stem. Once I get it, pull it together. And you may want to add more stuffing at this point. Now this is before you close it up. Look at the shape of your pumpkin. Now obviously most people would be using polyfill, but I don't have any. But this is, I would add a little bit more. There's an empty pocket there. Because once you do this part, that's it. It's what you got. It's what you got. Unless, of course, you want to take it apart and redo it. But I just want to kind of give it an even look. This is where you're going to shape it. Now, remember, pumpkins, they're not all even. They're not all perfectly round or whatever, so it's okay. Just trying to get it even as possible. So this is 2 small rows of 12 carats, 1.5 at this point. All right. My silver paper crochet pumpkin. It's pretty soft, actually. Okay. So that little pocket over there. It's coming out pretty even. Oh. Now, remember, you're going to be squishing it into sections with the yarn. You don't have to do that. That's a preference. I like the section look on pumpkins. So, my poor baby's got time for her medicine. She takes a heart pill and Lasix. She's got congestive heart failure. So, she's old, and hopefully that will help her live a little longer. Just don't know. Okay, now you're going to take this here, tuck that little tail in there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut this, but I'm going to leave a tail, and then I'm going to stitch this in, which is a little bit different than the tutorial that I watched but it's okay. So I'm leaving a good amount there, and then I'm going to get out my darning needle, crafter's needle, whatever you want to call it. Oop. What? Okay, so I don't need this brown anymore, so let me get that out of the way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make sure that I finish the bottom. So I've got 2. I'm going to go ahead and finish that, and then I'm going to make that nice and snug. Tie it off. And then, oh, my poor baby, that just sounds awful. Okay, then I'm going to take and hide this into this little crevices in here, or you can, if you want, just take it inside the pumpkin, whichever you want to do. In fact, I'm going to go in after it. And bring it through. Coming on this side here. Oh, it just sounds awful. Her medicine's been working really good, and she said, the doctor said, if she gets to coughing again, just increase her Lasix pill, her water pill. So I'm starting to give her 2 in the morning and then 1 at night. So just said to just adjust it. So I'm going to give her 2 today. It's been really humid. Of course, you know, people with heart congestion issues, weather can affect it. My little darling, my poodles are old. She's going to be 11 in the end of December. So she's almost 11, and 10 years old is the average lifespan for a poodle. So it's hard to watch your dogs get old. But all my dogs are senior now. I have 5 standard poodles. Okay, so just kind of do the last finishing touches. Now, get my stem. Okay, tuck that in there. And now, isn't that cute? Take the needle that I've already got threaded. I'm still going to leave this open because I just want to get this little guy in here secured before I do this. I'm going to go through that and come back out through here. Just tethering him in just a little bit. And I'm going down through the bottom of the stem, and then I'm coming through here. Okay. And then one more time. Then I'm going to close this baby up and wrap it. Okay. Now, go back over here. We're going to pull it tight again. Remember? Yep. Okay. Got that little tail over here. Now I'm going to tuck that down in there. You can see with the toilet paper, you can kind of shape it. Some shape there. I'm not done. Okay. Not done. Almost, but not quite. Because now we're going to take this and secure everything here. Oh, fell off. All right. I need to clean. It's the only thing about this acrylic yarn is it does unravel. Pulling that back through. Okay. Come back up through here. Going through here and then up through the stem. It's a little tight. What's happening? There we go. Well, that was real bright. Oh, goodness. Funny, funny. Okay. Now, tie this here. Then I'm going to take some yarn. I'm going to wrap this over, bring it around to the front. See how I'm doing that? And so you're securing the base. And then I'm going to take that needle before it gets lost. So now I have 2 double there. Bringing it around. Okay. There you have your pumpkin. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. Now it's time. You can leave it like this. Okay. You just have a round pumpkin. Or you can be adventurous and you can add your sections. Now, most of the ones online that I have noticed that sell not only have the sections, but they have the leaves and the little twirly thing. That's just what I've personally noticed. I'm not saying that you won't sell if it's just plain. Everybody's different. Everybody has their preferences. But I've looked at, if you're looking to sell them online, I don't know that I'm going to sell pumpkins. I was just investigating, if you will. So I'm going to go under. Okay. You can just tie it here at the top. Okay. Then you're going to come around and you're going to catch that right there. Squeeze it really hard. Bring it to the bottom so it's out of sight. Okay. We'll trim that off. Now you're just going to go around again over the same one. This is creating the sections. You can make 6 sections, or you can make, I'm going to go around the stem to bring the 4. I want 4 sections. It's a small pumpkin. I think to have 6 would be a little excess. Right down, try to make it even. Not too tight, but definitely you want to see some sections there. Okay, and wrap it around one more time for good measure. Okay, you can go around as many times as you want. All right, and there's your pumpkin. Dun, 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 dun. Now, I'm not done because I am going to be doing leaves. Now, at the bottom, I'm going to push these yarns together so that they are not separated. You don't want the separated pieces of yarn. You want it to look as even as possible. Okay, where's my hook? Anyways, I'm going to bring this under. I guess I'm going to have to do it by hand since I've dropped my hook. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it over here to this side, and then I'm going to tether it there, and then I'm going to bring it across and under and tether it there and pull it nice and tight. Okay, take this guy over here, bring it together. Remember the one you want to make sure that ends up on the bottom. Ta-da! Pumpkin is made. And then if you don't like the position of the stem, you can add another stitch. However, I'll do like a little bit of a tilt on the stem because that's actually naturally how they grow. And there is the pumpkin. Da, 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 da. So I'm going to put this back up here. I'm going to say hey to everybody, and then I'm going to end the live stream. And Queen, I'm going to be going over to Roblox sometime today. So there it is. Now I want you to know, here's my secret. This is my first pumpkin ever. I watched the video a couple times through, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I got this. My first pumpkin ever. It's not hard to do. I just did it for the first time and did a tutorial. You can do this as well. Ta-da! Now I'm going to be adding decor, and I will do the decor tutorial on the leaves and the little curly thing separate. But I'm also going to be adding some initials because this is a gift for somebody specifically. That's it. It's that easy. So again, I got inspired from a tutorial from Nastasia's channel. There are several channels on YouTube that are doing these pumpkins in different ways. She did the larger pumpkin and with different measurements. So if you want to get a pumpkin this size, you can't do her measurements. And I did mine a little bit differently. I did the stem differently. I wrapped it a little bit differently. What I used is differently, and the sizes is different. So, but this is basically a medium-sized pumpkin. Not hard to make. Never done it before. First time.
You can do it. Thank you for watching. Oh, hey, Queen, I'm fixing to go over and play some Roblox. So that's it. Thank you.